Gamashi Live featuring King Jerry. Miss Bell is right here with us. Miss B.
Yes.
This was released in 2022.
Yes.
Are you not bringing out any new songs again?
Oh, I'm working on something new.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Adam Fuboni. It will be
Adam
out.
Fuboni?
Yeah. I've had too many Adam Fubonis, so.
Oh.
And I don't want to be doing the social media back and forth anymore. So now I'll write music about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What is it about the Adam Fuboni? Is it about you not being so careful about them? How do you run into them almost every time?
I think I'm a nice person. I have a big heart. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. So naturally I attract people like that because they can spot you from afar. They can feel your energy. They know you are calm. They know they can manipulate you. They can take advantage of you. Yes. So that's why I always run into Adam Fuboni. But now I'm aware, I'm conscious. So I will feel your vibe before you feel mine. And I will give you space.
How much has that cost you as a person?
A lot. All the negative stories you hear about Miss Bell is because of Adam Fuboni. Nanyeme Nanyeme. So I have learned a lot though.
But do you have some few good friends?
Oh yeah, I do. Like George Quay, for instance.
No.
I do. Like my male friends are the best.
So GQ is a good friend.
Oh yeah.
Why has it not been good to me?
There's a height requirement. You're too far up. You're too far up.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, Miss Bell and I have actually worked in the same office and lived in the same.
Oh yeah, he used to bully me small.
Yeah.
He didn't like how I dress.
Yeah, we both work. She's a great editor. A lot of people don't know. She's one of Ghana's finest editors you can find.
I know that background.
So we shared an office at Village Communications some time back. And, we both lived in Dansoman. She was just at my junction.
Yeah.
She used to cook jollof for me.
And then one time he came to my house and then my living room wasn't ready, so we were sitting on my bed chatting and my son took a camera and was following us everywhere. And I'm like, John, why? He said, I will show you to daddy.
Does daddy know he's here?
we go way back.
Yeah.
I love that. So am I right to say, Miss Bell, that you are gradually retiring from music?
You see, the thing is, you can't retire from music. You can't. So I have other things I'm doing. Once in a while, when I feel like going to the studio and bringing music out, I will. But I don't think I'll ever retire.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
If you were starting music today, are there some things you would have done differently?
Oh, yeah, branding. Yeah, I would put more effort and attention in my branding, because how Miss Bell was released in the market was but it has helped me though. I have learned from it, but the branding wasn't put together well. I was just put out there like that, no proper branding. I'll go on radio and say anything, put on any outfit, go where I'm not supposed to, and along the way, things, I have been in the industry for 20 years. I've never had any. I've never received any award.
Are you serious?
And I will.
Let's ask George Quay. he was with the Ghana Music Award for about 15 years, right? You were there for about 15 years.
14 actually.
14 years.
Yes.
Why didn't you give her award?
I don't give awards.
It's as simple as that.
The board gives the award.
And the board.
You're on the board now. Why
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, what, you don't want listeners to know you're on the board?
I don't know.
What does he has been on the board for the last 3 years?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not blaming anybody. I think it's the branding. It's the branding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the branding. So if I have to go back to music, I mean, if I should be.
I will. Oh, don't worry, I understand.
Yeah,
I can't speak, but I understand.
Definitely, I will put more effort in my branding.
Yeah. So do you regret that? Or
I don't, because I have learned from it.
Yeah. Is it also because of how you entered into the music industry? How you got into Hush Hush? It was by
chance. Yeah, it was by chance. That's why we didn't prepare. One day I was working at Hush Hush as front desk, and one day the manager was like, go to the studio and do something.
Yeah.
Because the engineers are there, the studio is new, nobody is patronizing them. So if they play a beat, anybody around at all, they will ask you to go and do a freestyle. So I did a couple of freestyles. And then when they launched the studio and people started working there, my sounds were one of the demos they were playing to people. And then they're like, oh, who is this artist? When is she coming out? She's good. We like her song. So they convinced me that, okay, Miss Bell, let's put it out.
And then you said, let's go.
Yeah. And just like that.
But have you enjoyed this journey?
Yeah, I have. Because everything I am today is music. Everything.
Yeah?
So yes, I would say I've had my ups and downs, but
Yeah.
overall, it's not that bad.
Has it come with financial fortunes?
A lot, yes. A lot. Now I have a restaurant, I have a pub, I have a playground, and other businesses that I can't say. And the revenue all came from music, yeah.
So at the time you were very big in other African countries, Nigeria. Even Tick told me he went to Kenya also,
Yes.
and your songs
Liberia,
were...
Equatorial Guinea, everywhere.
Did you embark on any tour, any
Well,
visit?
yeah, I did back in the days, yes, but there was no social media, so people will not hear of it. But we've done everything they are doing today. We've done it all. I've been everywhere in Africa,
Yeah.
and I've received my flowers, except in Ghana.
Oh, you be amount.
And yeah, too late. We'll start.
Joy 99.7 FM, still here having a conversation with Miss Bell. George Quay is here. Also joining us is Oswald Okaite, who is a poet and a playwright. He's here with us today. We'll be joined on Zoom by Jeff Quay, JQ. The original JQ, not original, JQ. I mean, Jeff Quay, the music producer, and then Obi Nate, who is also artist manager, and now he's a music consultant and a politician.
The one who lost the election.
Hey, you too.
Now he's a politician and a music consultant.
Election. You will not.
No, he lost. He learned from it.
Oh, it's not that bad. There's nothing. Why are you guys laughing?
He learned from it.
Yeah.
Of course, we all learn from our
Exactly.
our loss.
Exactly. Miss Bell, as a female artist, most times we hear people, the female musicians say, "Oh, it's very difficult plying this trade and all that." If you were to advise them, what would you tell them?
Because it was not difficult for me.
It wasn't.
I didn't encounter, I've heard
Like
some of the stories
okay.
they share on social media, on radio, TV. But me, like I said, music came to me by chance.
Yeah.
I was working at Hasha Studios.
Yeah.
So, to advise female artists coming, believe in your craft. Now there's social media. If nobody wants to push you, you can push yourself. You never know. You may be discovered. But some of them are lazy. Most of them are lazy. They put one sound out there. They know they have great vocals, so they relax. Even to chase people, to share for them, lobby for radio interviews and stuff, they expect somebody to do it for them.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the funds, it will be difficult for people to be running errands and doing stuff for you. So, well, what I can say is that believe in your craft. Keep pushing whatever content you can create, put it out there, and you never know.
Do some of them reach out to you, maybe for counsel, maybe for tips,
Now
for
they
ideas?
do, but now they do. Now people reach out to me for counsel and stuff. But back then, when you try to counsel them, me myself, I try to counsel people not because they came to me.
Yeah.
They are like, oh, yeah, it really hurts sometimes. Because nobody is paying attention to her. She wants to use me. They never listen.
Charlie.
Yeah, so I try to stay in my corner. But now the new girls, they come in my DM. Some come to my pub, look for me. Oh, mommy, I have this. I want you to listen to it. Who do you think I should feature? What do you think I should do? And most of them, I tell them to invest in their branding.
Yeah.
Yes. Brand yourself in a way that it will be attractive for people to want to work with you. Even your smile, the way you smile. You see how Becca was branded. Even the way she smiles is calculated.
Yeah.
The way she waved, the way she would sit down. You know, Kiki did a great job with Becca. So sometimes I use Becca as an example for them, you know, to learn.
Joy 99.7 FM Showbiz A to Z. When you were doing your music, did you think about, okay, maybe let me put something about my culture in my composition, as in, should I speak Dangbe? Should I speak Ga? Should I use local rhythms? Did that occur to you when you were doing your songs?
Yeah, at some point in time we did that, but it didn't work. We did a couple of Gan songs. I pushed it with all my strength. Nobody paid attention to
Oh,
it.
really?
Like the song you just played.
Yes. Gamashi Live.
I tried pushing it, but nobody was paying attention to me. So I left it alone, yes. And I don't know why. If
But-
it is the language or the sound. But most of the time when I do Dangbe songs, it doesn't go anywhere.
Wow.
And maybe sometimes it ends up just in Jamestown and that's it, in the Ghana communities and that's it.
Wow. So we'll be talking about this, more during the discussion, because I know some artists in the Ghana communities, the King Jerry's, the
Nii
Nifanis, Adote Tetos, and all those people in the local communities in Ghana who are very big in those communities.
Yes.
Bakadiaka.
Akadiaka. Like Kwekushai. He's
Kwekushai.
he's like the Shatawale of Shai Hills.
Yeah.
But nobody knows him here.
Wow. Okay, so Joy 99.7 FM. Let's broaden the discussion right now, as I have also with me, Oswald Okaite. Oswald, hi.
Fine.
What's up? Everything cool?
We can't complain.
Why not?
How is the poetry industry doing?
Yesterday was World Poetry Day, and
Yeah.
Yes,
ironically, we didn't hear the buzz again. I think some of because the Nanasa sees myself and Chief Mumen have decided to focus on other things. We didn't get to know. We'll be calling you and say tomorrow is World Poetry Day. What's up?
Yeah, you told me about it.
Quite a number of people are not aware. Well, the poetry scene, of course, there's in every journey, you start from the base, you rise, you get to the peak, you decline, and then maybe some other people will have to take over. Some of us have been able to make the kind of fortunes we can make, and we still yearning to do more because we are seeing more opportunities. But I think the kind of fever we had in the past, when we worried the lives of George Quay and all of that, I think the fever is coming down quietly.
What do you mean by favor?
Oh, we have worried people.
Huh?
We have, you know. Kwame does, you know.
You are telling listeners.
We have worried people just because, at the point in time, and see, this is a personal experience.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend, the first girlfriend I had, who had to part ways with me because
Hey.
the family said, Oyen Kreni, but since we are poet.
Oh.
And that's what the NDCH.
Hey. Triple trouble.
So you got it.
Me and
So,
son.
yeah, and the poet aspect. So when you ask me what designation to use, I say use poet.
Yes.
And so I thought it wise to prove a point to the world, not just them,
Okay.
that poetry pays.
All right.
And many times I've mentioned that poetry pays, and people ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, poetry pays just like any art, but usually when I even mention poetry pays, it's not in terms of the financial gains you get. Whoever I've become, whatever connection I've gotten from the big people is because of poetry.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is what, in fact, that became the gate opening for me. So no one talked to me because I read human biology at the university.
You did biology,
Yeah, I read human biology in the university,
UCC.
UCC. So pre-sex science, human biology, and so my connection with Antijifa by the far side. So from by the far side and on the side, I kept doing my cultural things and all of that. And even in the university, there was mass drama and I was deputy director. I was with them, strong. You get me? So for me, the fact that after school and I'm still like a poet, and I've been on Benyasika, and stuff, encouraged me and
Yeah.
Yes, just like someone is playing football. It took some people to struggle in that desert to create that kind of heaven there. So why don't I also join the group? And fortunately enough, I came to meet some people who were also trying to blaze. I met Nana Sasi.
Okay.
Who actually, in fact, it was Nana Abossey who actually asked me how much I could charge for a performance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Then?
if he remembers. Yes,
And how much were you charging then?
I couldn't even tell him. Then I think 2013, he asked, can you charge like 1,000? I said, 1,000 CDs.
Like it's too small.
Was it too
No,
much
not
for
too
you?
small. You just even want the opportunity to perform, you are not getting, and you go to
Eesh.
charge someone 1,000 Ghana cedis. You get me? So, in terms of charging, now you come at it 70K and stuff. That kind
Oh.
of charging thing came to me, can't see Nana Abossey. So I remember after a performance at the conference center, and it's like, get these 300 Ghana cedis. It was good news for me.
Yeah.
And could you believe, just after that, because of that performance, I was given a blank check to do a performance and asked, how much do you want to charge? And then Nana Abossey's voice came
Yeah.
to my mind. Should I call 1,000? What if I mention 1,000 and say we are sorry?
I know, right?
So I had to tell him, no, you have to talk to my manager, when I didn't even know who a manager was.
Oh.
I was drama studio. Well, because what program are you looking at? They say NGO. I said, because NGO thing, we don't really want to
Yeah.
charge because we want to help church and NGO. So I mentioned, okay, bring 700. Say it's a deal. Say,
I should have said
I should
1,000.
have got 1,000. So you see, so through that, like, that was a kind of encouragement. Then I
Yeah.
got to know that yes,
It pays.
it pays.
Whoa.
You can make it through just a matter of, like she rightly mentioned, brand. Because I've seen Nana Abossey on Metro TV performing,
Yeah.
and the very reason people want to get Nana Abossey on shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said to myself that yes, you cannot perform like Nana Abossey. You have to perform like
Like
yourself.
yourself.
But
yeah.
you need to position yourself properly. Because then there was Chief Moment as well.
Yeah.
So we didn't have so many of the young people doing it there. So why don't you also create a niche for yourself? Then I knew it was not going to be easy. But then to be a king, and also you need to work like a slave.
Great. Great. Okay. Oswald Okaite is a poet and an art consultant or activist.
I like the
Activist.
art activist.
Okay. Okay. And okay, so let me ask you this question. You see Nana Abossey's performance. Usually when he's performing, he fuses some Akan traditions in his performances. Do you do same with Ga culture?
Yeah, there's what we call canto. So singing poetry.
Okay.
And my inspiration
Yeah.
was Kofi Awono.
Okay.
I never got to meet him.
Wow.
In fact, my first collection I did, if George K would remember, was a wreath to Awuno. That was a kind of, in a way, to give my wreath to Awuno because I knew I was not going to get a platform to say anything. But my mentor happens to be Professor Kofi Anyido.
All right.
And Professor Kofi Anyido really sings with his poems.
Mm.
And I realized that I had a bit of the singing ability.
All right.
And so, can't get to see, or my background with By the Far Side, made me know I could do a lot of cultural songs. And so I chose to use a lot of folk music, the Ghana folk music. So when I go to perform, in order to get people to align with you, because poetry, there's no one who understands poetry. No one understands a poem. You think you understand, yet you struggle to understand, because you write metaphors. So if I say night is upon my house, you have an understanding that there is something bad, but you can't tell what kind of bad it is, whether my mother is dead, whether I have broken heart, So that's why in literature you are told to appreciate.
The broken heart is correct.
Yeah,
Because
that's
of
why you are
the
told
lady.
in literature to you are asked in literature to appreciate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That even makes literature a more difficult subject than science.
Wow. Wow. Could you let me put you on the spot? Some freestyle, you see. Some freestyle, some poetry performance be like that.
So I am as I am, defined, undefined, refined, redefined. I am as I am. I am the voice of emotion, thoughts, ideas scattered and bundled. I am the portrait of the seen and the unseen. I am as I am. I was before. I am now. I am to come. I am as I am. You think you understand, yet you struggle to understand me. You find me wise. You find me stupid. You find me simple. You find me complex. You find me ugly. You find me beautiful, but still I am as I am.
Yes.
Defined, undefined, refined, redefined. I am as I am. I am cosmopolitan, dying, rising, teaching, confusing, praising, protesting. I am what you struggle to comprehend. I am the soul of life. I am poetry.
Awesome.
Wow.
Talking about poetry, Charlie. Beautiful, beautiful. This is a performance I'm about playing to you. This was done by Professor Tukwe Okang. And when they were celebrating their 58th independence anniversary, and he did this poem called The Pharaonic Eagle. Take a listen.
In the beginning was the beginning. One scaled the electrified, intimidating fence. It is in the gift to man to live his dream in the present tense. My God, I plant my feet firmly on a soil that is yours. My heart is filled with thanks and praise, and overflowing and running on all fours, it pours out the nectar of gratitude and awe upon the altar of the Lord that allows the dove to float and not fall. In this jubilee, let us jubilate and meditate. Pioneers to break free from the shackles. When in silence the leap year's moon is sitting in state, and God proceeds to scribble upon the providential slate, I keen my ears to catch what the elements dictate. The sermon still is very much upon the mount. The commandments still do not number more than 10. The Almighty's hand is scribbling upon the face of the waters. I am struggling to read and to understand that he who manufactures the air controls the soul's silent borders, and it is he who showers water and sunlight across the land. View soothsayer spider websites meant for sleepwalkers in the dream zones of despair. To our ancient glories, you are the rightful destiny designated heir. Step forth and drink in your fill of your warrior manufactured victorious air. I subpoena onto the parapets of our African space the proud and patient presence of the founding fathers, all the warriors, unlisted and unsung. May the xylophones of Sundiata climb the stone temples of Monomotapa. May the phantom fronts of Mansa Kanka Musa ascend the Kilimanjaro of our hearts. Ting kong 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 kong, ting kong kong, ting kong 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 kong, ting kong kong. Anthony William Amu, of our ancient uprooted but equalizing diaspora. Hazley Hayford, where are you? Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, where are you? Ubeta Bilante and Joseph Boachi Dankwa, are you there? William Edward Berger Dubois, of our beleaguered and vigilant diaspora. Prophetic Kweji Agri, of the cradle of Achimota, where are you? Boykotini, Nikwabla Buni, the second, Osuala Kamanche, Akwaje, and Edward Akufuado, are you there? Marcus Garvey, of our awakened and desperate diaspora, Toussaint Louverture, of heroic Haiti.
Joe 99.7 FM, and that's a performance by Professor Atukwe Okang. This one titled Pharaonic Eagle here on Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dazi. I'm still here with George Kwe, Oswald Okaite, and Miss Bell. We'll be joined on the phone line on Zoom by Jeff Kwe, JQ, and then later we also have in the studio Obi Nati. Now, let me come to you, Oswald and George Kwe. Let me start with you, George. George, how do you feel listening to this performance by Professor Tukwe Okang?
Oh, Prof is sometimes when I even want to use that word legend, I feel it's an understatement, because Prof is the epitome of African art.
Yeah,
he is that perfect representation of a son of the soil who raised high our flag through words. Prof is art in totality, and if you meet his kids, they are all art personified. You know, and sometimes I feel Prof and many others have not been celebrated enough. You know, it's pretty unfortunate, but we're in a country where sometimes I get to feel that we like to celebrate foreigners a lot more than our own. And sometimes it's a bit unfortunate, because when you look within the Ghana community, I always say that when it comes to art in GH, I'm not trying to be tribalistic here, just trying to be factual.
Okay.
I think the Ghana have given Ghana a lot of talent within the space. Look, some of the works of Prof are global. They are legendary. Rosemaya, for instance, can stand toe to toe with any work from William Shakespeare.
Okay.
Toe to toe, and probably even Floyd. You know, and you look at another name that we probably haven't even brought to the fore, celebrated, is like Ayikoyama. And while we're off air, I was telling my colleagues in the studio that Ayikoyama is one of the reasons that I fell in love with art.
Wow.
Growing up, we had a little library at home, at our home in Kotowabi.
Okay.
And there was a book in that library called Talent for Tomorrow. And Ayikoyama had a poem in that book called Rest Content with Your Lot. And that poem is one of the first poems I ever fell in love with. I think I first read it when I was in GSS 1 or class 6 or so. And I still can't get it out of my head. It's one of the things that have guided me. And it speaks to ambition, but it also speaks to humility. It says, how long will you curse your how long will you curse your fate? How soon will you cease complaining? You hate to be what you are. You wish you were something else. But look up. Do you see that gentleman? He rides in a luxury car. His food is rich. His wife is beautiful. His children, almost angel. Wouldn't you wish you lived in a stead? Well, just last night I heard that gentleman say, I wish I were a lawyer with a fat salary and earning great respect. So you see, that gentleman too is never satisfied. Here you are wishing you were a gentleman. The gentleman wishing he were a lawyer. The lawyer wishing he were a judge. Judge wishing he were a justice. Justice wishing he were the chief justice. Chief justice wishing he were the president. President wishing he were a king. And the king too wishing he was God. And then you are always unhappy because you are never ever satisfied. But look here, my dear ever complaining friend, you'd never find true happiness in this world of uncertainty unless you rest content with your lot.
And you remember all these lines.
Why won't you?
Wow. That's beautiful.
You should understand why he's dynamic.
Yes.
Why he's crazy. Why he's open-minded.
Yeah.
You get me? So that tells you that we are causing a lot of harm to ourselves by not introducing literature to our children at that level.
Because he had the foundation.
Oh, for me,
there was a
library. I think we've had this conversation, and I think one of the worst things our leaders have done to this country is the introduction of STEM without the A. Put that A back in there. Look, everything around us is art-driven.
Exactly.
And I keep telling people that when the robots take over the world, the only thing that they cannot take over is art. That is the only thing. And everything, we all seated here, everything around us, our clothes, the studio layout, the design, the TV screens, even the digital network that is giving us JQ live on the screens and he's about to speak, it is all art-driven. All these, your Elon Musk and everything they do is art-inspired.
Sure.
Everything about Tesla is art. Kantanka, everything they do there is art. Engineering is art-driven. The world was born on art. Let there be light.
And there was art.
Let the waters separate from the oceans.
Yeah.
Let that, and then if you go to John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word. Word is poetry.
Preach on.
It is art. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. So if you do not appreciate it and learn to understand those that are driving it, you are not celebrating your Shatawalis, you are not celebrating your Miss Bells, you are not celebrating your Oswald Okaites, you are not celebrating
Your
your
George Quays.
Atukwe Okains, your Ayukwe Amas, your JQs, your, you name it, the list is endless. Your Nashokos, your Bellamundis, your Philip Nyes. Look, it is a very, very, very tall list. And if we do not learn to embrace it, own it, appreciate it, and celebrate it, we're going to lose it.
George, talking about celebration, let's mention some more creatives from the Ga Dangbelan. So we have E.T. Mensah,
Legendary.
Yeah.
Kim Bruce,
Yes.
Saka Akwe,
Saka
Ulome.
Akwe, not
Yeah.
Saka.
How do you call it?
Saka.
Saka
It's not
Saka
it's not-
Akwe.
Okay, Saka
The,
Akwe.
the father of
Ulome.
this GTV,
Who's that?
that beautiful
Akushika Akwe.
Akushika Akwe,
Akushika.
you know.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, so if you even want to look at Wulome, he was very critical in that, the Fisherman's
Oh.
song. You know, the man was a creative, a playwright, a performer, a musician. You know, so I know that those who did, there was this term they give to it. When I was apprenticing myself at the university, they say a bricolage. A bricolage where you have different types of the art discipline come together for a theatre production.
Okay.
So Akwe stood for that. You could see him in almost all the disciplines.
Yeah, we can also mention Aditi Anand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grace Norte,
Yes.
George Quay,
Yes.
Thank you.
Miss Bell.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because Miss Bell, even though
No.
she
Look,
she was
Miss
born and
Bell-
bred.
Yeah.
No, you
Raised
see,
in Jamestown.
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah,
Bell is
Jamestown.
one of the brands of, young women who redefine modern day music as far as the female
Yes.
performer in GH
Yeah.
is concerned.
Yeah.
Before all these, your Effiers and Beckers and all before your Triple M's and all the, there was
Yeah.
a certain Miss Bell
Oh yes,
who personified, embraced, one of the first female pioneers of hip life music.
Great.
Yeah.
You understand? So it is not a brand to take lightly. You
At
understand?
all.
It is not a brand to take lightly. So for me, look, it's even unfortunate. Are you even aware that a legend like Namanwa goes home just next weekend?
just next
there's no
weekend.
buzz.
Next weekend. There's no buzz around it.
No bad.
Oh,
Yeah. Next weekend, Namanwa is being laid to rest on Saturday, 29th at the forecourt of the State House. You understand? So for me, I think, let me commend you for this conversation.
yeah.
And
you
I
mean
think...
my producer and everybody?
Yes, everybody else, the entire team, for this conversation. It is critical. It's important.
Yeah.
And I would also, if I was speaking to you, I'll say me the suborn also be bought and crime for no.
GQ. For hono work baby now we'll continue. I'll come. Not yet. Oh, near beam. But in the meantime, there is one person who also tried to project Ga music or the Ga culture through music by redefining hip life in those days. JQ. He incorporated more of local Ga drums and rhythms into his
The
compositions.
Jama
The
feel.
Jama.
Jama feel.
Yes.
Onugba,
Can I just talk?
One time.
bottle breaker. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys also doing?
Great.
We're doing great here. How is the US?
Change of season. We just transitioning from fall, winter to spring. So this week we had our first spring day, but otherwise everything is going well. Trump is shaking the country.
He's shaking. He's shaking you people.
Welcome home.
But otherwise, everything is going very well here.
Jeff,
Seriously, I'm humbled.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you still do music as in production?
Yeah, I do, but not within the Ghanaian space like it used to be. Reason is that even though because of technology and internet, like most of the artists reach out to you wanting to collaborate with you in terms of like producing something for them. The narrative in recent times have been that, I'm an independent artist. There is no record company. I don't have enough budget, and back in the days, if you know about my works during the time I was working with like Miss Bell in your studio and other musicians, it is assumed people just thought that I was one of the highly charged producers and engineers in Ghana. So
You mean you were not? Was it an assumption or reality?
I don't know. I don't know what other people were charging, so I cannot speak, like I can't say that to be a fact. But like anyway, it was word on the street. So my point is like from then till now, you don't expect me to probably still collaborate with you on a track and still go for, maybe what you think other people are taking in Ghana now, because how you sell yourself is how people will buy you. So I've been a little quiet within the Ghanaian space for that reason and other reasons too, with regards to what our music is now. It's like if you jump on the scene, people want you to do what, like the trend now, what other people are doing. But some of us who pioneered the hip life movement and we gave it an identity with the kind of sound that we produce, you don't expect me to toe the line, the lines that other neighboring countries are doing, to also play the same thing they are doing. So that is the problem now. Like, because when artists reach out, I want my piano, I want this, and some of us, we want to define the space, not to toe the line, So for that reason, but I'm around, yeah. So I do stuff for other people, yeah.
So if somebody in Ghana wants you to do something like what you did for Miss Bell, and the person can pay you well, you would do it, right?
Exactly, yeah, of course, why not?
Growing up, how did your cultural experience, as in the Ghana culture, influence your music productions?
Did a lot. One, anybody who have been around me, if you ask Miss Bell, she will tell you, I'm somebody who really pride myself in where I come from, especially growing up in Accra, where as a child, it is the capital, but then, no disrespect to any tribe or any wherever people, but you realize in your own environment, people were trying to take over from us. So for me, growing up, I saw music when I was very young, from seeing live bands play and my mom buying cassette tapes to play. And my mom, of course, I'm 100% guy, so we were heavy in the Wulomo time, so the Wulome kind of music influenced my childhood. And being in secondary school and all the jama and things we were doing, and I was also a church boy. Music came to me from the church when we go on conventions and things like that. It's always a jama thing. So the jama thing had been part of me even before I got into the the music space. So being in the music space at the time of hip life, like you all know, like we were just doing hip hop. We were really lost at the time. We didn't know what we were doing, until for me personally, I was like, okay, we had to bridge the gap, and bridging the gap is like finding something like local, something indigenous, something cultural to who we are as a people. And being a Ga, I couldn't project anything rather than where I come from, because I don't know how I will even feel personally, being somebody who really support the Ga movement, to know I'm projecting. Though I've played a lot of high life songs like Kwame Call, Ya Don't Pray, and all these things are things I did for Ilumba. Oh, I did a lot of high life. Evi Hamukawomu is a high life song, but my projection was more to throw more light on where I come from, and as a way of also making people aware that, hey, we are in Accra, and if we are in Accra, the Gamacha has to be the ruler.
Yeah. Okay, let me come to Miss Bell and ask Miss Bell, how was working with JQ like?
It wasn't that simple, because he's like prim and proper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants you to hit certain notes. He wants you to sing a certain way. And, I was green to the industry. I don't know much. I didn't study anything about music.
I saw how I did.
Yeah, so it was a bit difficult for me. Yeah, but in the end, we always come up with like hit songs.
Yeah. Talking about his songs and the rhythms he produced for you, how did that drive the attention, the audience that you were looking forward to affecting? As in, how did that give you the audience?
You know, JQ, I wasn't, before he produced my song, he has done a lot of, he's worked with a lot of big artists. They've done hit songs. So the trend was already there. Okay. So it made it very easy for me to, flow in.
All right, Joe 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z, George Quay. Please listen to this for me. I want your opinion on this particular one.
Who is this girl?
Excuse me, ma'am. I want you to wait right here. I have to talk some sense into this girl's head.
Okay.
I'll be right back. No, why do you need servants behaving like that? Just because I give you small freedom around my house, you want to disgrace me. Yes, I.
Look here. Do I look like a maid servant?
You need to look here. You cannot talk to me like that in front of my future wife, and whether you like it or yes, your future madam. Do you understand? Do you understand? You don't understand. Look, in fact, pack your bags and pack your bags. Bags are about these bags. I have a bag. 50 compartment. Now, what do you think? I have to get a new maid servant. This one is way too big. On doors, don't join me.
You call me big. Wait till I've told your uncle.
Told my uncle. Tell my uncle. Which uncle? Look, I am not surprised. I am not surprised at your behavior. I blame my uncle for bringing you here. But when I give you up to 2 minutes to leave this house.
What did you just listen to?
Oh, that was a scene from Taxi Driver.
So that's you talking?
That was me talking.
No, that was
the character. Abuaji na ne di nkrofo atem no. George Quay is a very well brought up, very respectful young man. I mean, Miss Bell and I worked for years, so yeah. If I'm disrespectful, I'm sure. And Miss Bell, you know she doesn't lie. Oba kano kran se ya tibia. Alo no miambu.
No mi o sabotage.
No mi boss and wa.
No sorry mo. That again what are your problem? You always have a problem with my heart.
You see, the company was full of men, but Miss Bell was always short. You know, so I was complaining about her.
So you were in a meeting because of the
you were worried. Yeah, no, Miss Bell, I said be short. You shouldn't have been worried. We should be worried. There was a male.
She was worrying people's living.
She was worrying people.
I was being comfortable.
The boys were complaining.
Oh, they were complaining.
So, in order to save her from harassment,
meeting.
Yeah, for you, and you fixed it, and it was nice.
Yeah, somehow.
Just quick, let me come to you.
Yes, that was Taxi Driver.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, that's actually the series that got me into the space.
Yeah.
I just finished secondary school and joined David Onto's Cozy Theatre Company. Okay. And were there when they came to call for auditions that a new TV series was coming up, you know. And I think at one point Malapia even did mention that the Abuaji role was not supposed to be regular.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be a one-off. But after I came through, he enjoyed it, and then interesting thing
you extended it.
When I auditioned for Taxi Driver,
yeah, I
could not even speak Chi that well.
Yeah. Why?
Because I had gone and I could speak Chi, but
not
it wasn't
as fluent.
Not that fluent, not the kind of Chi I was speaking on TV. So, and I remember the night the call came. When the call came and I picked it up, I said, "Is this George Square?" I said, "Yes." "Can you speak Chi?" The answer I gave her, yes, without even thinking. "Okay, come to Village Communicate tomorrow, this time. I was over the moon. So I went, and they gave me, and I said, "Okay." So everybody, Mickey helped me a lot. Then there was Collins Hajiman Safo Gundipi, who was also very helpful. Mufti Dabre, God bless his soul. Yeah. They were all there. They all helped, you know. And I started listening to a lot of Chi music. That was actually when I fell in love with artists like Ojun Chi, Daddy Lumba, and Nana Tufo, and all, because I started consuming, because I figured if there was any other place you could hear it, it had to be there, because all my friends in Kotoabi, it was Ghana or English, you know, that were speaking. So, Ghana English or maybe some Hausa. Most of my friends were all Hausa people.
Let me ask you a question I asked Ms. Bear earlier on. How did your Ghana cultural background affects your work as a creative?
It was tough for me, like I said, because I did not even understand Chi that well, you know. And here is a person that the show that has picked you is not showcasing Ga. If it was showcasing Ga, and I was going to perform with Tata Mensa or those it would have been Jackie or those. It would have been easier, you know. But it wasn't. It was a program that was created, you know, with a Kumasi vibe, Kumasiano vibe, and I needed to adapt. I was an actor, so I needed to deliver, you know. So I totally had to drown or diminish or let the guy in me disappear. Anytime I was on set, I needed to convince you that I was an Ashanti.
Okay.
You know, and if by God's abundant grace till date people think I am an Ashanti, then I think the directors did a great job with me. That was what they wanted. That was what they wanted. Yeah. Now, all can cause SM trivia make it be and then I said, the honorable be a election. Honorable, it was good. Eventually, look, it got to a point. She nearly actually did affect my gun. Yeah, because I was getting deeper into it. You know, in acting, if you're not very careful, sometimes when you play a particular role for a very long time, you could become the role.
Okay.
You know, or aspects of the role could become a part of you. You know, and you'd have to be conscious, you'd have to be awake, you'd have to be alert so you can control it every time. You know, so sometimes when I want to misbehave on Facebook, I can put up a post and say, oh, responding to this post will be done by Abuaji, not George Quay. That's the only way I can speak my mind freely. And I've always said it, that actors will not admit, but for somebody to play a certain role very, very well, you must have a bit of it in you naturally.
The trait.
Yes, you must have a bit of it in you naturally. If you have a bit of it in you, it comes out. You know, we all have evil parts. We all control, we all drown it, we all suppress it, we all make sure it doesn't come out. So if you go waking up a sleeping lion, and you're beji, and it's a George Quay and I'm the baby, now they don't cast Samba. I'm George Quay, the Tonchena, Waji is Shiawa. Wow, but you, Sammy.
Sorry, George Quay. Miss Bell mentioned that anytime she did songs in Ga, those songs did not fly as the ones she did in Chi. Why do you think that is the case?
There was a time I said something on Hits FM that got people upset, especially people from my tribe, my Ga community, that if we're going to drop English today and pick a national language, it should be Chi. Yes, I've said it again here. And I pray all other tribes, let's be patient. Let's be honest. Have you traveled up north before to Hamile? If you are not speaking the language they are speaking, then trust me, if you speak Chi, you survive. You get somebody who will understand you. Go to the Volta region. If you don't understand Ewe, speak Chi, somebody will be able to. But if you speak Gan, nobody. It will be difficult. It will be difficult, but speak Chi, you will definitely get somebody who will respond. Go everywhere in Ghana. You see, maybe because of their central location, you know, they're in the heart of Ghana. Look at where Kumasi is located when you look at the map of Ghana. When they are spreading, they go upward, they come downward. They go all around. So maybe geographically it's been advantageous for them, and through intermarriages and business and trade and everything, they've managed to spread across the length and breadth of the country. You understand?
Good.
So it's a very large group of people. And when you have a large group of people pushing or understanding or interacting with your work of art, it makes it easier for it to trend. That is why when you go to the predominant Ga communities, there are big stars there. Look, I hear the Kakalika man passed. If it is true, God bless us.
Adolf Tego passed.
I
think about a week ago. A week or two ago. Adolf Tego passed.
Adolf Tego, we are mentioning here. A lot of people do not know Adolf Tego. But I can tell you for sure, in the Ga communities, Adolf Tego was more popular than Sarkodie.
Oh, yeah.
He's huge, that huge, within the Ga communities. You understand? And there are many other acts like that within the predominant. You just mentioned your gentleman, you can, what's his name? Kweku Shai.
From Shai Hills,
in the Shai Hills community area. He's very, very popular. You understand? So, what Miss Bell was also extremely popular within the space. You understand?
My tree song.
Extremely popular.
Yeah.
But yes, even with the cheese oil, all the brand was a huge brand. You understand? But if you want to cut across and speak to everybody, you may want to enter a space where everybody may be able to interact with you. I'm not one of those who believe that language should have an influence on music, but unfortunately, one way or the other, it does. It does.
Yeah.
So I think really that is probably why. It's not that her songs did not do well. Her songs probably didn't perform as well as she would have wished they would.
They would,
But the
yeah.
songs did very, very well. I've heard a lot of Ghana songs. Look, Wulome were extremely popular.
Yeah.
There was also Jajiloy. Strangely,
Jajiloy.
Jajiloy.
Yeah,
People do not
Jajiloy.
know Jajiloy.
Yeah.
But Jajiloy were also very, very popular.
Yeah.
And there there were many other groups, but the predominant Ghana communities. Then again, it comes to the concept of the kind of DJs that are hired across the platforms. These DJs, what kind of music have they exposed themselves to? You understand? What kind of songs will they play? Miss Bell drops a Ghana song. Would Wubete be playing that Ghana song? You understand? Why won't Wubete play that Ghana song? Because maybe that Ghana song is not receiving the kind of, is not getting the kind of vibe or the kind of feel that Wubete wants his followers or his listeners, to vibe to or to jump to. I really do not know. Even Bukumbanku Boxer has a lot of songs.
Yeah.
You understand? That people do not play.
Songs in the Ghana community.
But those songs are very popular within the Ghana communities, but people do not play them. I've never heard any Bukumbanku song played here on Joy FM before. I stand to be
Have you
corrected.
played Otwinche?
I've never heard one.
By who?
Buko.
I've never.
I'm not sure it's in the system.
I've never heard one. And you cannot, because and you see, sometimes even we the Ghana people, what is our level of patronage for some of these works from Ghana acts? You understand? I'm sitting here, I can sing almost every single song from Wulame.
Yeah.
But how many Ghanaians can? You understand? How many Ghanaians can? And how often do we also dial up or promote our own? So I think it is a matter of numbers, and we've had this conversation at a broader scale, looking at the numbers Nigerians have versus the numbers Ghanaians have. You understand? And that is why they will tell you that if a Nigerian musician releases a song the same day as Miss Bell dropping a song, even if Miss Bell's song is bigger and better than the Nigerian's song that has been released, just because of that element of numbers, the Nigerian song is most likely to do better than Miss Bell's or trend or go further, because the numbers factor also, is something you cannot discount. So that I think is probably the reason that Miss Bell may drop a Ghana song and it may not trend as well as her Chi songs.
Your brother Quay in the US wants to add something to what you just said. Jeff Quay.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, G.
I think what George Quay said is very laudable. From the studio point of view, like I've recorded like so many people. And I've recorded a lot of Ghana songs, like a lot of Ghana artists. We've made a lot of Ghana hits. But talking about numbers, it is very, 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 very important. And it plays a very, very pivotal role in our industry when it comes to commercializing music. Because I think, like he said, I think if you look at the geographic placement of the accounts, it's easy, they are spread across. And also, even though Ghana's we own the capital, Accra, like everybody, because of urbanization, a lot of people from everywhere are in Accra, and the accounts are a lot in Accra. Now I've had instances where I have look at a song like Ayefe Noche. Ayefe Noche.
Yeah, King David.
David is my cousin. He's also here in the US. Maybe people don't know. King David is my cousin. We are related on. My mother. King David's mom and my mom. Are cousins, so that's how. So King David is like my brother. So when we did Ayefe Noche, and we gave it to Film Prince, Film Prince, for us, we were just, at the time, we were restrained to like just the production aspect. I hadn't even gone into the business of music, like as in setting my QLEX Entertainment and all that. So Film Prince was like, this song is very good, but for this song to get the kind of, mileage that we want, we have to do a remix that has to be sung like in Chi. So that was how we ended up doing the version that, and that really, really, really blew King David, because it was easy for the song to cut across. So even if you look at Book Back, Bright, predominantly his style is like Ga, his linguistics. He tries to portray the Ga, but he's always quick to chip in a tree, chorus when he sings in tree. The only reason why we bring the tree in is like what George said, the numbers. Like they are the people that have the numbers, and it's interesting. Even me, when I meet a guy on the street of Accra that I don't know, the very first thing we speak to each other is tree. Before we realize that, okay, you are a guy like me. Then we come home. So it's not like
it's true. Even they say I met
wow.
Yeah, it's the thing is like rhythm. When it comes to like rhythm, like instrumentation, because you can put a language to it. That is why my style was able to cut across. But if Jama was a language, it wouldn't go anywhere. Yeah, you understand? People wouldn't accept it. You understand? But because it is rhythm and it has beats of every other thing, it was able to cut across. But the language, that's why Miss Bell is saying she will speak in Ga. She can reach maybe 1,000 people. But if she go Chi, she can reach like 1 million. So I was just adding to what George said.
So how then do we make sure that we don't lose our identity as a people, as Gans? Before I bring Obi Nate in, let me read this message from Nii Abossey. He says, greetings, interesting conversation. Maybe moving forward and after Ghana Month, we shall have a lot more conversations around the arts in the Gandangbe community. Yeah, good idea. We have brilliant folks pushing the boundaries, but they don't get the support. Kwekushai is a proper lyricist and happy he's signed with Miss Bell's record. Better things ahead of them. And then there is another message from Kalampa, who is Kalampa is with UNESCO Ghana. Okay, yes, I'll get his message in a moment. But he is also making some message or some points here. He says, George is correct on the language matter if looked at objectively. Meanwhile, cultural diversity is ideal with language playing a key part.
Exactly.
Good. Let me come to Obi Nate. Obi, so how do we address this issue of difficulty in using our Ga language in works of art because maybe it wouldn't be understood by a lot of people? How do we address the Gandangbe issue?
Okay, thank you, and let me appreciate this wonderful, great Ga creatives who are here, especially Miss Bell.
Yeah.
Like way back, Miss Bell.
Yeah. But you not do especially to George Kwe?
Hey, mommy. Mommy. Oh, mommy.
But Oswald has not known you.
Oswald Mokobi. She can't drink. Oh, if you don't go, Ayomo. Oh, Ayomo.
No,
Yomoko.
Almost honorable worry.
Drink. Play me book on my good drink. But Kwame, I think that we've made very great points here.
Yeah.
Now I will pick it up from the point where we Gans, first of all, do not even appreciate where we are coming from.
You don't?
Oh, most of Gans don't. Most of them don't. They shy away. They just acknowledge that when they see themselves, they speak Chi. They greet you to say. I tell you a story about my grandmother in Dansoban. Now, she went across the street to go and buy Ga Kinki. Now, when she got there, he came my come, and the lady told her, on tears here. Hey, what Ga come here? Maybe like a new Ga. Nina, I mean, fu. Oblayo. Oh, no, Taga, no Ga come, no, you Ga. But that is what we've got into. We've allowed, even we the Gans, beyond this, we the Gans do not even speak our language. When there are Gans songs, we don't even appreciate it. How many of us listen to Bono FM? As Gans, do we even appreciate that?
We listen to Joy FM.
We listen to Joy. Latenu. We don't. Okay. We have let the space, and we're rather enjoying the other cultures. I'm not saying we shouldn't. There's a need for us to do that, but we need to also sell our own. If you don't sell what you have, how will somebody buy it? They say sing a Gans song. Ketru Yagbe. Danny abanu lala shishe.
Awumi.
No, but
George,
I want to agree with you, but there is a picture you need to appreciate.
yes,
You know, there's a price to pay for being the capital city,
agree.
Yes.
and that price is what we
Agree.
Yes.
Yes.
When you are the capital city,
The likelihood that you may lose your identity is high, and that's exactly what's affecting us.
George, I agree with you, but then again, it means that there should be room for us to be very deliberate about what we do.
Yes.
We cannot sit and look and take and say, okay, because this is the capital city and we have foreigners or other people coming in, we should allow them to take the space, not to take the space in a very negative way, but allow them to take over everything. Now, how many of us even hear of Homo? I feel Homo no way.
Oh, we do.
But
Social media and
yes, you can't compare more to
No,
Akwesi.
you see, again, I have a different
Opinion?
argument when it comes to that. Because to start with, Akwesi, for instance, is not even a festival. It's a cultural and religious right. That's what I have always believed. I don't classify Akwesi a festival, in
In a
in the
sense.
sense of it. Now, if you want to look at Homo, for instance, there's how many? It starts from where?
12.
And it travels.
Almost
There's
a month.
12.
That's long.
So, you see, I have always believed in the concept of consolidation. And I'm one of those who have advocated for the unity of the Ghana communities.
That's it.
So that you become one. It makes it bigger and better
And stronger.
and stronger. You understand? Like when you go up north, one of the biggest festivals that people don't even talk about is Damba.
Damba Festival.
Damba is huge. And everybody, they all come together. The unity. Cape Coast just next door. Ugwafetu Afashe. It is huge. You mentioned Homo, and you're talking about 12 different celebrations, and you want it to be strong?
You know,
No.
Kwame, you know.
Okay,
you know,
quickly before we let Obi
Yeah.
come in again. Okay,
So
Oswald.
this whole issue is not as simple as we are looking at it.
No, it's not.
Okay.
We have to understand that, you know, you need some custodian. You know, you say we need to be deliberate. Why are people not listening to Bonu FM and all of that?
The content.
No,
the
you can't.
content
Thank
there.
you, Ms.
People
Bell.
can't just
Ms.
get
Bell,
up
yeah. Yes,
to
Esther,
pay
listening.
attention to this, listen to Obonu FM or watch Obonu TV or whatever. It's got to do with quality in terms of production content. Do you get me? So then again, whoever is managing these spaces need to be deliberate to give equally good content like the other ones. And then there's one fact we can't run away from. You know, the custodians of the culture and the custom supposed to be the chiefs.
Okay.
And we all accept the fact that we have got problem with our chieftaincy. So there's no one at any particular time to guard the customs and the tradition.
Are you sure about
In
that?
recent times, you know, Homawa is becoming something big because of the rebranding of the new king.
Kentucky.
You get me? So around this time, no one is wasting energy in fighting, but rather to invest into the custom and the tradition. So it's the same king who is leading, getting people to go and study Ga in Winneba and advocating that we need to have this and that, we need to have the schools. So in all these times, we were thinking that the custom was diminishing. It was because we didn't have anyone to speak to it. But said to Otunfo is big. And when he calls for the shots, the powers that be will have to listen. If you're talking about Damba, if you go to the northern region, at point in time, they have someone who represents the custom and tradition, and they speak to it. So I think one of the factors that contributed to the beyond the cosmopolitan effect and all of that is just because we didn't have a metaphor of our custom and tradition, and that should be the chieftaincy.
Okay, before I come to Miss Bell,
Kwame.
let me rest with Obi.
Kwame,
He didn't finish
yes,
his
yes.
point.
Kwame, so I think that what we've all said.
Yes.
It's
ends
what
up-
you're
ends
about
up
to
with a lot of-
what you're about to
Yes, we have to. We can't sit. I agree with all the points that they have raised. So what do we do as guys? Meanwhile, Afi, Watashi, Labi, it's another thing. George Quay, the wealth of knowledge that George Quay
Too
has
much.
can transform a lot of things.
Yeah.
If we involve Miss Bell,
Yeah.
if we involve
Oswald,
Okaite, right?
Yeah.
If we all come together, deliberate, and start planning something towards pushing the culture, re-echoing the essence of the Ghans, embracing what they have. Look at how unique the language is.
But every language is unique.
Exactly.
Yes. You know me. I love it. A clear example is Perez's music. Look at how he brought that Ga song into the system. Oh, no. Then everybody, people who didn't understand, were singing it. No, me neighbor. I agree to all the factors, but I'm saying that Kwame, can one town what checking the be? Can one town one na the be ni one town one na as game. But say no what check about no one for you be. We need
so how do we check it? The NIMBY, how do we check the
George, like you were saying, like you were saying, it starts from exchanges of pleasantries.
Okay.
Like you mentioned it. Also mentioned it in a Miss Bell, in your Miganyo, in Go Miss Betty say. Exactly.
No, but you see, no. But Kwame, you see, Obi, there's an aspect here. That is what I mentioned from the very beginning. That because of their geographical location, and also, look, let's not run away from it. In this room, plus JQ and everybody, we've all heard the expression that guns don't travel. Haven't we heard it before? Is it true or not? It is true.
Is it true?
Yes. we don't like traveling.
No, but no, the whole
it's not being scientifically proven.
I'm not 100%. I don't like traveling.
Yes, you don't like traveling.
I don't.
But you see, we need to admit facts and be honest. This is the capital.
Okay.
Everybody's coming here. Where should I go to? And you see, no. Hold on. JQ is in America. If you like, let us conduct. I don't know if the Ghana Statistical Board, they have the figures of Ghanaians living abroad. Tribal. You'd realize that the largest is also the Akan community. I was doing some construction work in London at a place called Richmond.
Yes.
Yeah. Charlie, and then they brought some guy to us.
You?
Yeah, me. Legon this. I was a site laborer, construction site.
I don't know what people have done. My tongue falls down.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify something. I am not telling a grass to grace story. I am not from a poor home.
Okay.
Let's have that clear.
Sure.
Okay.
Not true.
Let's clarify.
Social media.
I am not from a poor home. I beg you. I was doing it because I wanted to. Because my dad Atakwe will not give you some money to go and fool. And I wanted money to fool. So I needed. What do you give you? Is you want to travel? Okay, I'll buy your ticket. Blah blah blah. Go. And I was in the UK. And what was I doing? Instead of waiting, just sitting home watching TV, might as well just do some work. So I got a job as a site laborer at a construction site, And then this is Abuaju, Charlie, construction site. And outside, you use somebody's national insurance card. You don't have the document. I'll mention the name of the guy I was using. So at the site, that is supposed to be my name. Now, sometimes the wife will be calling me a name that is not yours. You don't remember. That is not even the story. They brought this boy there. This Ghana boy. He's also site laborer. The guy did this. And then one day he was just looking at me and he said, who free Ghana? I pretended like I don't understand the language he was speaking. Quiet. Who free Ghana? Pardon? Ghana. Are you from Ghana? He said, pardon? Me, someone said, I moved away. When I came back, this guy was on phone talking to somebody. Charlie, Akwebi Amabe who was site up said your swab blocks, not Sabwaju. The family I don't go back.
Yeah,
But the interesting thing, the point I'm trying to make is the language was speaking Chi. Every time I met somebody outside of Ghana, anytime anybody has approached me, the first language is Chi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime.
So now the question is, how do we fix this? How do we get?
Fix what? Is it a problem?
But funny enough, when people meet me outside Ghana, they don't approach me with tree. They approach me with Ghana. because they see that I'm always speaking Ga everywhere.
That's where I was going. Again, maybe because of the role I played in Taxi Driver, they think I am an Ashanti. So maybe that's why.
I thought you were an Ashanti.
I'm now getting to know. Pay attention to the Kwe.
Oh,
yeah.
I told me George Nii Abossey.
George Nii Abossey.
I'm not. No, I'm
No,
not.
like a tree in Ojibwe. Like a
I
Ashanti in
told
Ojibwe.
George
Wow.
Nii Abossey.
Like a Ashanti in Ojibwe.
So Kwame, do you get the point
So,
now?
George, I'll come to
Ahole.
you.
Ahole. Ekpe wa ahole.
Kwe.
Actually, Abuaje. Yeah.
Obinati,
Yeah.
is there a way out? Is there a
Well,
way
like I'm
of getting
saying,
us
like I'm saying.
appreciate our language more?
We
better?
can, and I like Oswald's point where he brought it from the angle of the authorities.
Okay.
If they would, when they unite and when they have that agenda, I think everybody will fall in line with it.
Okay.
Individually, I don't think everybody can do much, but when that's hitting into alignment, I think all of us will come in and then we'll contribute to it and make sure that we revive the interest of the Ga tradition and culture. It's a very beautiful. When I was coming, I was listening. I was just reminiscing on some of the songs. Oh yeah, like there were so many of these songs that are very advisory that people till now they don't understand the language, but they say them, they use them. So if we keep hammering it, Ms. Bo was saying she has some songs that they don't even play.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm a child. They don't play it. They don't understand. Even the DJ say they don't understand the language. How do they go and play it? But you don't need to understand. Once the song is part of the community and is part of a certain culture, let's just sell it.
Okay.
We're saying this is Accra.
So beyond language, there are other things in culture that you can use to promote
Absolutely.
the people
Absolutely.
in your artworks.
Absolutely.
Maybe how they dress, maybe
Absolutely.
other things. So as George Kwe is a playwright, he's a poet and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe he can incorporate other aspects of culture in his play without using the Ga language. How about that, Oswald, George?
Yeah, of course.
In our next play, there will be a lot of Ga.
Me, I do a lot of Ga. Me, I do a lot of Ga
But
content.
let me give you a disclaimer.
Okay.
What you will hear in Ga, it may not be palatable for your children's ears.
This one will come inside.
Oh yes. Because they are prisoners
Okay.
and they are depicting the role.
Oh, beyond the walls?
Yes, beyond the walls.
There is Ga in it.
Yes, you find every tribe in prison.
Yes.
So I try to represent the tribe.
Okay, so you
a few times.
Okay, before we go on a break, let me come to you, Miss Bell. What do you think is the best way of promoting our culture through our artworks?
Me, I'm
whether
doing it
music-
already.
Yes.
So people identify me as a Ga, even though my name is Nanekria.
Yes.
I was born and raised in Jamestown.
Yeah.
I speak Ga. I do everything Ga.
True.
Even signing my artist.
It was Ga, the Ga way.
It was Ga. Naming my
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
The father is from Jekiti.
Okay.
But I named my child with the Ga tradition. I called the Ga elders from the Gbalu
Beautiful.
Palace and Nungwa Palace. And they came and did it for us. So me, I have already started doing stuff in Ga.
Awesome.
I'm being identified as a Ga. So I think if we all start doing that, it will get somewhere. When I travel outside Ghana, people see me, oh, where do I am crying? But then they get confused about it. So stuff like that, I think it will push. We should all come together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe 99.7 FM. Today we are talking
Can I
about...
say something briefly before?
JQ, yes, you can say something before we go on a break. Okay,
Yeah,
let me hear you.
Quickly, on things we can do to,
Yeah.
I think if policy making can come in, I think it will help. We are all individually doing our best, but like if it will come from, the Ga traditional council or something, so that even in our schools, I don't know if today we still teach the Ga language in schools. Especially in Accra. So it could be a starting point, and then working with if the Ga council can work with the creative arts, so that they can have a policy where if any dignitary comes to Ghana and they land in Accra, before they go to Kumasi, there is a Gamanche. Let us accord them. If somebody comes here, we see all the Adowa they are dancing at the Accra International Airport. We can have also like a policy where we will see Panlogo people also there welcoming these dignitaries. So these things can throw, light on our culture. It will make people be aware. But here is the case: we are
It's
in
not deliberate.
Accra, but a lot of imports from other regions, are taking the forefront of what Ghana needs to be part of. So I think if policymakers can look into this, I think in a way it will go a long way, little by little, to make the Ghana thing what we want it to be.
Beautiful submission there, JQ. And I'm also right here with GQ, George Quay, Oswald Okaite, Miss Bell, Obi Nate. We're talking about GAT creatives and GAT communities here as part of our GAT themed conversations this Ghana month. My name is Kwame Dazi. Let's take a break. This song is called Kakalika by Adolf Tego, who passed away a few weeks ago. May his soul rest in peace.
and more is brought to you by Anna's Chemist Limited, Shape Healthcare Specialist Medical Center, Labadi Beach Hotel, and supported by Our Louis, Roberta Merchandise, Lunch Avenue, and Decor Zone. To sponsor 40 weeks and more, please contact 0592 889 986 or 0262 874 707. 40 weeks and more, nurturing lives.
Upgrades are nice, but stepping up is woohoo! Because when you upgrade with GoTV, we'll step you up to the next package. Upgrade today to get more than more with Step Up, where if you're on GoTV Plus and upgrade to GoTV Max, you'll get even more with GoTV Super. Get big value, get big entertainment, get stepped up to even more with GoTV. Upgrade today on the My GoTV app or visit GoTVAfrica.com. Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends 31 March 2025.
You're still on Joy 99.7 FM, the Superstation, Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dazi. Show brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Superstar multi-food drink. And the show is produced by Philip Nye, supported by Mirabel Johnson and Anita Tay. We're having a conversation on Ghana creatives and how to promote or project them. Here in the studio, George Kwe, Miss Bell, Oswald Okaite, Obi Nate, aka Honorable. On Zoom is Jeff Kwe, JQ, who is a music producer. In the meantime, have you ever set foot inside a prison? Have you? Have you ever listened to an ex-convict recount the moments their world changed? The crime, the sentence, the struggle to survive behind bars? Well, do you know that some prisoners fear freedom more than confinement? Do you really know? They're dreading the stigma that awaits them outside? And is it really true that presidential amnesty is reserved only for the powerful and privileged? Now, this March, prepare to be shaking as Image Bureau, April Communications, and Joy FM, in partnership with the UN Family in Ghana, led by the Joint United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS, bring you Beyond the Walls. And this is a gripping George Kwe original. That is where you hear some Ghana terms in there, yeah. Directed by Nash Shoko. Come see the insides of the Nsawam female praising live at the National Theatre on Saturday, 29th and Sunday, 30th March 2025 at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Now, tickets are selling now at 200 Ghana cedis per. You can buy your tickets at www.imagebureaugh.com or just dial *714# 46. No, let me take it again. *714 *46#. *714 *46#. Beyond the Walls is a powerful story of stigma, redemption, and second chances. It will not move you. It will go ahead, apart from everything, to also challenge you and change the world that you see. Do not miss it. For inquiries, please call 055-1313-134. And this is supported by Nii Plants Car Rentals, Ghana Tourism Authority, the Ghana Publishing Company, Aquaba Mineral Water, and brought to you by Stanbic Bank, Joy 99.7 FM, and the UN Family in Ghana. 2025 is about showing up, and at DSTV they say they are ready to show up for their customers this year. How are they doing that? They say upgrade your subscription to the next package between 13th of January and the 31st of March, and then you get an even higher package for a whole month. Everything on them, yes, for free on them. If you're on Access Pay for Family and enjoy an upgrade to Compact to catch all Premier League games, If you're on a family, pay for Compact and be upgraded to Compact Plus for free to enjoy the best of the UCL and new exciting movies. Also, if you are on Compact, pay for Compact Plus and enjoy premium entertainment this season. Everything on DSTV. There is nothing better than putting a little bit in but getting a lot out. So come on, dial *75#. Upgrade today. Terms and conditions apply. Joe 99.7, Showbiz A to Z. George Quay is here. Jeff Quay is on Zoom. Obi Nati in the studio. Miss Bell. And then Oswald Okaite. Now, let me start with Miss Bell now. And let's talk about the creative people in the Ga communities. So apart from language, we're done with that. How do people in Ga communities, let's say local or traditional authorities, also help in promoting or grooming or harnessing these talents? Do they have a role?
They don't help. They don't.
They don't help.
No, they don't. Like King Jerry and I had a conversation during the campaign time.
Mm-hmm.
And he had some nice songs that he's recorded. We listened to it together. He was telling me about financing it. He didn't have, and he knows like big men in our gang community.
Yeah.
He's been trying to get them to support him, and they keep turning him down. So he thinks that because me, I'm female, I can use my influence to get them. And yes, I got them. We spoke and everything, but
Charlie.
yeah, they just don't care. But they will quickly run to Sarkodie. They will quickly run to Black Sheriff and the rest. But they just will not help.
And these are people who have the wherewithal to help.
Yes.
Wow.
I wish I can mention names, but unfortunately,
We beg.
I can't. So they don't help. They don't.
Wow.
So the only help they get is the Obonu FM, and Obonu too. They don't have numbers because their contents are boring.
I'm sorry. Let's Miss Bell.
If you are not ready for truth,
Miss
don't call Miss Bell.
Am I saying something
He says
wrong?
so.
Let's go this way.
Saying something sensitive.
Let's go this way, Miss Bell. You see,
I like the way she says.
you see, this platform is also for everybody, whether you're a guy.
But then they are listening, so if they will know that,
Yes,
they
they
will
should
know
be
that
coming. They should come.
we are hurt.
Over
It bothers us. So egba wona ewo onye wa money chone onukpa ni etasen no ni shikayehi ne ba anye wa ni fani meke King Jerry me can adotate to if no ba chon ye gan community she call na le ona like a star because many ba wani star pele amewa
No.
she na kan gbe me no ka amena sa akode me ba me nkoto ame ona ewo
See, she's right. No, we have.
Is she done? I done with the points, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's
Oswald.
a fact. You know, almost those who have helped me are not guns, and it's not as though I don't have contact with big people within the space. I don't really know, but I've come to understand that there is this spirit of car. Yeah. No, that's the fact. Unlike the hinterlands, like the spirit of snail. Climb me, go, let me climb you, go. So I think that one too needs to be looked at. They will just ask you, don't you want to move on? You tell them your problems, put your place before them. They give you their contact, call them. That's the reason why Ms. had to intervene and even call. If you're a guy there, forget it.
They won't mind you.
Is it that serious?
Yeah, they won't mind you.
Judge Quay.
Yes.
Have you encountered such a situation where somebody, a kingpin in the Ga community, could not offer you help that you wanted?
Asking for help is difficult for me.
Okay.
So when I get to the point where I ask, it means there's nowhere else to turn.
Okay.
when I ask and it doesn't come, I feel extremely embarrassed. It makes me say too many things to myself that I usually wouldn't like to say to myself. So asking is very difficult for me to start with. So it's not a thing that I do often. That's not to say I haven't done it before. I have. But I've also come to understand that sometimes it's not that they don't want to help.
They don't believe in your craft.
No, sometimes it's not that.
What is it?
I had to understand it the hard way when somebody also asked me for help. You know, I am for Chinebi DDBH.
Yeah.
Manchama Katanya Ekufiku. 5 fingers aren't the same. So though I may look up to somebody, somebody would also look up to me. So yes, people have hit me up, DMs and stuff like that I have also not been able to help. That is not to say I didn't want to help. They probably just hit me at the wrong time. Because you need to understand too that people have responsibilities. People have their own lives to live. People have their own families to cater to. People have their own businesses to run.
Same people will help
have their
others.
own That
same people
people have their own vision, their own dreams and aspirations and all that. But it is timing. Sometimes I do agree totally with Ms. Bell. But because sometimes you see these people, do things for other random people and you understand, but you're not the same person. I came to you and you couldn't do this for me. Again, you cannot fault them. People do things for their own reasons. If, for instance, Oswald approaches me for help and I'm not able to assist him, I may have my reasons. If Miss Bell approaches me and I'm able to help, I may have my reasons too. Sometimes that reason may be something as lame as I have a crush on Miss Bell.
Would that be lame?
In the scheme of things, it may not be. Charlie, you are denying Oswald just because you have a crush, really. Yeah. What's the point? What are you doing with a crush when you're already married or you already have your family and all that?
Yeah,
but
true.
People have their reasons. So I have approached people for help. Look, sometimes it's not even just about help. Sometimes there's about even people in the industry that are running businesses that even sit with you, talk to you. They tell you, look, I'm going to support your project. They come on board as sponsors. They bring their flyers, and you do everything. You do the promo, you do everything. And then when it's time to go collect your money, they start telling you stories. We leave it and we move on. It's not a thing that you now come on social media or somewhere, start mentioning. We move on because at the end of the day, it is God who takes care of us. So we do not sever relationships. We move on. We do not sever relationships, but we move on. We're human. We'll still continue to ask for help. You cannot do it all on your own at every time. Obi here is a politician. Running a political campaign is no joke. There'll be times that Obi will reach out to people for help. If the timing is right and it's appropriate and the person is in a position to help, he will help. You understand? If the person cannot help, I have learned the hard way not to fault people who are not able to help me, not to frown at them, not to critique them. If I see the same people supporting someone, I will say, thank God, at least he's helping somebody. He's doing it for somebody. Maybe it's not me. Maybe I'm not his favorite person.
But that somebody is always one-sided.
Yes, but you still cannot fault them for it.
See, like in this context, the conversation, I think George is right if you want to look at the general terms.
Okay.
But we are in this context, we want to see how we are able to develop or improve upon the space within the Ga community.
Yes.
And so we are being specific.
Exactly.
We are identifying traits, characters, which we need to look at.
Okay.
Because there are people, there are people who are not within this space. You don't expect someone from a different tribe to be so deliberate about promoting the custom of another tribe.
And that's possible, though.
No, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying you do not expect. So, and share and funny.
Okay.
But as a person, like if I'm a guy, it should be one of the things I have to put before me. So I need to, in order to get the respect I want, let me help my people to also get up. You shouldn't be, within a Ga community, that fellow wants to go and come and to be praised. And that is what I am driving at. We need to look at it and work on it. You have to believe in the spirit of Ubuntu, that I am because you are because I am.
Okay, this message.
My
sorry.
point was that there are people in the Ghana community that can help.
Yeah.
But will not help, the creatives in Ghana. They will rather help others.
That is a big problem. That is a big problem.
And I want to understand why. Kwekushai hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I invited him over. I later found out that he's an artist. He's big in Shy Hills. Nobody knows about him here. I decided to support him.
Yeah.
When we first recorded Kwekushai's first song, I could have called any tree artist.
Yeah.
But I decided to pick somebody from our community, which is Yohane. He's a Teshi boy, and he's also big there. So with the numbers and the influence I have, if I start pushing them and we have the right sound, I believe we will make it. And we are planning on adding some Obonu drums. Even we will explore.
Beautiful.
Try different beats, but we'll definitely make sure that in the end we have some Obonu drums in it to represent where we are coming from.
I love that.
And there are people in our community who can do the same. But they have the fans, they have even more influence than I have. I have it on social media, but they have it in the banks. But they won't do it. One panyefai kanyembo wetwe one sumoni bule aba woni fe mohi ewo one panyefai onukpa eni yo gani nyeba anyenye wa je enye kama woni kanyemfe program kwekeke acheka ha bu 5000 ba no ba tuma keke ote.
So on this note, I want to acknowledge this man.
Who is that?
The former mayor of Accra.
Atoko.
No, Atoko.
Who?
Mohamed Soa.
Okay.
Well, he got to know that I'm from the different political space. But he told me, Wafega Dangbe, Wafe politics.
Okay.
And he's been very instrumental.
Oh, wow.
No politician has helped me like he did.
Oh, so there are others doing amazingly well for some people.
Oh, there are. Look, I can also confidently speak of Dr. Daniel Macaulay. I mean, we have a great relationship. The man has been there for me. And, so it's not like they are not there. Like I said, they also have their stuff, they also have their plates full. And you need to understand that as you're approaching these people, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
You would be shocked how many people knock on their doors daily. So it's not that easy.
Yeah, also.
So like,
and I also add my voice
my literary advocacy and almost all of that. Not to say that maybe he put money in my palms, but he gave me networks.
All right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he has to look at it and tell you, no, okay, I'm going to be part of this event so that you're able to attract this because I've spoken to them.
Awesome.
And so on this note...
But we want more of that.
We want more of that.
More.
Can I chip in a little?
Okay, Jeff Quay.
Okay, I think this particular point that Ms. Bell raised is very important. Personally, I've met a few people back in the days who try to support the arts, like using this medium. I would like to acknowledge one person that is no more with us, Apo. I think everybody there knows Apo. Apo is a Ghana. He was his father is the king of Katamansun. And Apo, when I met him with my influence, he's a Ghana. He tried to help everybody, not even only the guys. This guy was helping even radio presenters. If you talk of KOD, Wafake, everybody was at these guys.
Even me.
He was. Miss Bell will tell you, this guy was helping everybody. He financed Forex for. He did, I think, after book by Gonja Barracks, he was there. He did Latin. He helped so many people, and he's a Ghana guy. And I also think there are some Ghana people, I don't know, for reasons that is best known to them, they don't want to come out. They want to, but they don't want to, which I don't know whether I say this because in 2003, when I won my award, we went to Warehouse. At the time, there was a club called Warehouse. I think I was at Abraka, thereabout. And I was there, and they said, somebody want to talk to me. And then when I went, it was our own Randy Abbey, and I really remember his words. He said, this is exactly what he said. He said, for me, being a Ghana, I really appreciate everything you are and what you are doing with our music. And he went on to add, he said, if you need help whatsoever, anything you need, always know that me, Randy, so far as it supports the cause that you are on, I'm ready to support you. So I think there are some people who are also willing to go out of there, but I don't know what is holding them. You know what I mean? Just to say what Miss Bell is saying, I think there are some great Ghana people like George and Co have mentioned some Ghana guys they know who have been there for them. I've also met a few, and I think if there are Ghana people there who are willing and they have the means to push, they shouldn't hold back. They should all come on board and push the Ghana agenda.
Awesome, Jeff Quay. This message is from Anil Sabute. He says, somebody from the Ghana community is doing a mega party. And he has gone to East Africa, Niger, etc., to bring stars to party with him. People don't like helping people. And it is a fact. We don't push our own to succeed. And it's one mystery I try to decode.
We have Adani best.
Was it maybe we need to wash more plates?
It's very true.
But there are some Ghanaians on the bill for his party. I think there are some Ghanaians on the bill. Yeah. Mr. Quay, Mr. Niyama Quay, you are very quiet. Yes, you can say something.
From George's angle, that it is human. No one owes anyone help
at all.
Absolutely. Nobody owes anyone's help. And I pick from Miss Bell's point. Ke oye ni onu na you ake e to gamen ye neke area dem ye no ba no wa. You should be proud. Something should motivate you to do it for them, so that we raise that image up, so that the 2 points can work together. The way they are mentioning, if I don't mention Professor Okuamate, former Vice Chancellor of UPSA, I might, because it's also helped me.
Yeah.
Maybe because there is that line, but it is always that it gives you that feeling that and if you look at the other tribes, I'm not saying it to shy the guns,
all right,
but if you look at the other tribes, when they hear their tribe talk to them, immediately they align. They speak their language, and before you realize, they have left you and they are having a conversation with them. But no ibenakai. No bakpa fire in a fire bar. Ye shish ba mi akewo. Ke one more year ni he wale ye nya wa. Eja ke won ta o sagaman ni gama fefo.
The Gamache, Kentucky Teku II. He has a foundation, and the foundation, he has something he calls global creative recognition. And it's meant to promote creatives. I don't know how far he's gone with, funding that initiative, but what do we think we can do to make sure this one works? Because I think if it works, it will be good for all the people within the space. How do we help this cause?
Well, like I've said, it's once it's a good initiative, then there must be that call to the table. Let's invite the individuals who make up the system, and let's have a conversation with them, and let's see how best they will bring up their expertise on board, so that within their space, wherever they have their strengths, then they will deploy them to make sure that the scheme becomes a successful one. It can't. For me, I believe in collaboration and conversations. So if the king would call on these various creatives who have excelled in their fields, they have done well. Let's call them to the table. Let's explain the vision to them. Let them buy into it, and then they pick it up and then they run with it. It's an not within the creatives and people who can even add up to the conversation. You should be proud. Everybody should be part of it. Exactly. No, you can wear nature. No, kegamanche ebo to a me. No more one bubble fire. Come off no kunakaim. But more than no check gamani yo neke bopa no me. Natashi. Could I use an ye? None namely or Jobani won't know what a yo or Jomomi. No, I can say one walk about for. Oponono koni nieyano ekafe yake bupe alo meni yore ana menes anache kaka ache mokwe ba ache mokwe kule jake kule kaka ache George kule be ache we kuju because elake ka atashi aba le skeku na gbede o kwa be ko lo ba do George kule we awie no ko e bi won fe won wie game won le akete ke ganyo pe ebi no ni ba nye wale wose je no ne ba ye gbede ne ba to Acho minate. It's a George George when James
Today we are doing GBC Radio 1 here. Ghana man.
George, I'm my George.
Fine, George Kwe. Obawe.
No. Kwame, I'm a race and George. Okay, you land. I told me Obi that be a big race and here.
Oh yeah.
You are coming. Youth, what were you there?
Yeah.
Kawana onupai.
Yeah.
Ni wo ba binokwe. Wo binoko ne ba wa wo say.
Okay.
E ba gbele gba wo. Jinu na ba ye gbene na ba ton. No nupa no onpa 5 cedi, am 10 cedi, am 2 cedi. Bo da ne no ba ye no ba no ta wo. Wo panje fai fa fully en facho. For fully en facho. Na gbene akase ni hu na ya hin. And quality le call we about what can say no way here. Nipsy Barney bar if I
honestly, Tabia Meneni Yake, Wawahi, Gamming. She in Nuchumo, call back no bata Nuchumo. My people can employee. Because
I was gonna go there too.
Because Gammel fairly employer Kaba. Na tuni mene wono abadon.
That's a big problem.
I'm a badon. Alo abake mi yala. Imene be wale. I'm a badon. It be na back panuchumo bini. E wo ka oba no ke ganyo jibon la ke shi nuchumo ochun. Ekwele mo kon wo yen ehia. Or go and find a job chuni, so they will come. So me, I hardly employ Ghana people, but I would love to. But the thing is that when they come, they won't work. They will come 2 days. 2 days. That's the maximum.
This is a big.
And my people are here. You can ask them. That's the maximum.
Okay, Joe 99.7 FM. This one says, George Kwe, you spoke well, and please let Miss Bill know and understand that supporting people is all about priorities. Mauli, fui. Okay, thank you very much. Now you can also call us right now. The number is 030-221-6541. 030-2216-541. That's the number to call us on right now. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on 055-1111-997. Studio line is 030-2216-541. How can we promote Ghana creatives? Yeah, that's what we are talking about. George Kwe, you were about speaking, yeah?
Yes. I just wanted to add my voice a bit to what Obi was saying.
Okay.
And, what brought that on? While we're on break, I did mention that, look, many times, I've done a lot of work out of Accra in other regions. And in many other places, especially in the Ashanti region, when a typical Ashanti boy or somebody from that area approaches you, you are coming, maybe you are setting up a stage. Oh, chairman, meet me up, meet me so we mukakra. Ni say, oh, you know, my boys why you meet me ashe we mamu. Oh, we mo say, oh, we you know. They are always looking for opportunities to work, to you know, or somebody. There's been a time that I was at Lancaster. They came to call me. Somebody had waited for. I think it was it a year or two ago? I had gone with McDonald on the McDonald Youth Connect.
All right.
And we're lodging at Lancaster, and one of the guys had come to call me. When I got there, the guy was there with his passport, and this guy was like, Charlie, he can do anything, he can go anywhere. He just wants opportunity to be able to go somewhere to go and work. No offense, no disrespect. Almost every time I have been in the Ghana community, Charlie, no you know, it's you know, almost, and I'm saying almost every time it is, you know, people are always asking for handouts, you know, and all of those things. So sometimes, those that can also help at home. So it makes people classify all of us in one. Look, just about a week or two ago, McDonald Foundation fed over 3,000 widows at Manchagbuna.
Wow.
Yeah, they not just feed them, they gave them packages and stuff to go home, bags of rice, bags of oil. There was health screening, there was all of that. It was very impactful. It was good. You know, that was giving back to the society. So it is not about even helping Miss Bell, Oswald, politician Nati, or myself. You understand? It is not about that. Even if you can do anything at all for the community, open doors, create opportunities.
All right.
We are doing this prison play thing, for instance. We have put out numbers. So far, almost everybody that has called me about it, okay, let me put it this way. I haven't had a call from a single Ga person
that wants to come see.
I've had over 25 calls. No, forget the play. Support. You know, we've just put out a video today where there's a therapeutic and counseling center being built at the Nsawam Female Prison, which we're supporting. So we are going to channel some of the revenue generated from this play to that project. So we put it down. All those that have called me to ask how they can support and all that. Not one. You know.
Let's go on the phone lines now and speak to some of our friends who are listening to us.
Game sumo befa no wa wo hie wa shi wono kono kwera koje promise panye fai kanya bakpa no nye bia ke no ni henu opa na mole no ko ne ba futa he hawo nye bia ngawo nye ba ye so ga kanya ni tumo wie money no nye ba ye so ni me kaka ni nya ka yubo afono ni nka no ni yo afata e manye
o fine ta che mo
akona bi injala
yo you are don
kanya bakpa no kanya yefi nya bia man bia ka mini ngawo nya yo nya ko ba hawo nya ba ye so nkeke
yo you are don ke wa gbe na o ba translate ka ha mi onu
na yɛtra yakasa yɛmbie is mo so mo mefutu they also want to advise efutu amenta na wom
okay, thank you.
Yes,
let's speak to the next caller. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, Joy 99.7 FM still here talking about Gas creatives and how we can promote them. This one says, good evening, I'm listening with a lot of pains and disappointment as the education system has no art in there. That's not true. As a nation, aside Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who understands the power of creative art and how it is connected to our roots and spiritual side of our culture, which connects to our identity, the rest, okay. Still here on Joy 99.7 FM. Mirabel, please take off this one so I can read the messages. All right.
Early.
Judge Way.
Yes. So just open your lines early so that our mothers can be a part of the conversation.
Okay.
And fathers.
Okay. So this one was basically telling us about how important it is for us to incorporate art in our syllabuses or curriculum, but I know for sure we have creative arts in the basic schools, and so that is not true. Please educate me. Is Miss Bell Ga? Nana Spinkters Road. Miss Bell was born and bred in Ga. She's Ga. Hello, greetings, Owula Kwame Dazi. And your panelist. Big shouts to the man like George Kwe. This is Aigbeni Dugbeda from Nungwa. Hey, Aigbeni, what's up? I want to use this opportunity to acknowledge Jeffrey Norte and Kalsum Sinari, who are doing some very interesting skits in Ghana these days. I'm not Ghana, but I grew up here in Accra, so I appreciate the conversation. Good job, guys. Good evening. Therein lies another issue with the promotion of Ga Dangbe language in the arts. How can you create a good image of a people when all you do is use their language only for risque and obscene communication on stage and in music? We are respectful, brave, tenacious, and welcoming people, but unfortunately, on stage, our language is only used for insults. So sad. That's okay. Must stop. Odote, Nii Abossey. All right. So let's go on the phone lines again and speak to some of our callers. Good evening.
Hello, Kwame.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Nii. I'm calling from Gamashi.
Your name is Nii from Gamashi.
Yeah, Kwame.
Please, what do you have to say to this conversation?
Kwame, if you are me, what game George Kwe, Well, brother, for God's will away again. Game ake woni bi epi. Ake game eche ne kemobi. Te gandu le ko gandu ha ni nyemi gandu aya no. Bi obi na te ake no ni wo eyem we ben no bi George Kwe. No dike game chake wo suba we no go far. We have to change our character and our attitude. The game wo chake wo suba no because any ke kemobi.
Oh, yow. Oyiwaladon. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kwame. Your name is?
I'm Kojo.
Please, how do you think we can help promote creatives in Ga communities?
Yes. Let me also add that sometimes, from what we are all discussing, you realize that we were talking about their hands sometimes trying to, they are naturally able to take over. But it's because of the way they normally handle it. You realize that you are talking about Ga. What is being done about the language as well? So I think you should widen the scope within the Ga language so that they will all feel part of the movement. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, sir.
So if it happens, you have that mass group of people who are championing a common cause for the garden. As you were even mentioning, it appears garden the Danguis have not really contributed. You are mentioning the Gan side. Then you realize that those even who are in the studio are more talking about the Gan side. So I think that if you widen the scope and make that deliberate attempt. So, for example, if you are doing programs, somebody was saying, if foreign delegates are coming, you can bring in the Panugu people. There are the Dipo dance, there are the Krobo people, you have the Step people, the way they do their things. Let's project it deliberately and bring them into the fold. You understand? So yes, there are people like Atamis, and when they were doing the Ghana drama on the TV, all those people must be recognized, and then we deliberately push it. For me, if you do that, you help promote the Ghana culture, and then let's try to study it as cool as we were doing it in the past. Yeah, and I think it will help. That's my view.
Thank you.
The last thing, I think about the STEAM thing, that is a general thing where the government wanted to drop the art aspect of it. Please, it's very, very important that Craig said it. In fact, the art aspect is very, very important. And for me, I think it will help us than even the science. It might be controversial, but for me, I think that is where we have a lot of talent that we can develop to make the money from outside and bring it home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nii, for your time and your submission this afternoon here on Showbiz A to Z. This is your super station. Now I have some comments here. This one says, these problems and challenges being discussed in the studio apply exactly to the Fantis too. Looks like it is a beach mentality from Atokwamina Yosing. Oh, brother, Dema. Another one says, my people, I've been listening for some time now. Honestly, the stereotyping is too much. What you experience in the Ga communities are also present in the villages and local communities outside the Greater Accra region. Nii Okai Ogbojo. And then this one says, my fellow Gans, please, most of the schools are even now quitting the studying of Ga language and are often teaching Akan. We are often destroying ourselves. Very sad. Na Shika. Okay, let's come in here, and if you have any responses to any of the comments so far. Yes.
Like we're saying, we've spoken about some individuals we have seen do great in this industry or in Ghana who are Gans. A clear example is Moniba Atwane Independence in Mali. Let me say it in English so that you understand. So like what I'm saying is that he should understand where he is. And for Gans, like I'm saying, in this era, we're more developmentally oriented. That the Ga community needs more development. If you want to make impact, then I'm saying it is an advice. I cannot force the individual. That he should look at making sure that his impact is felt in the Ga community as someone who's been able to leave a legacy.
Well, make an LA to be felt, mum.
Because if you look at the pomp and pageantry around that individual, and we agree, we celebrate him as a Ga, like others are doing, let's get into the Ga communities. Let's help ourselves. Let's help ourselves. Let's do things that we one day look back and say, in Bomoding. Even if nobody's appreciating you, you can point to something. We have spoken about people who are creating, building astroturfs, hospitals, schools, and all these things in the Ga communities. There are some Ga communities who have people who have very less privilege. No better na jonara. What? And you see, and it becomes, and that's how we tend to build up. If you enter into the Ga communities, Jagbo, Afo, a party, a ginger, like it's all about fun. If you've not been to school, it's difficult to think about advancing. It shouldn't be so, and it's really retarding the community. I would beg that even him, Nikwe, right? Nikwe,
yeah,
will qualify. Keba eba neba wagama. Akashka kabashe.
Maybe he's doing things we are not aware of.
But if you call for your babana, come on, need down for your bewonder. Many for your banana. If you're nana, and you see, like they're saying, it becomes as if you are showcasing. And the people you see from the other tribes, they do things and you see what they're doing. I can't feel no cook and wag. I'm a man. She will not fail in a kind.
Thank you very much.
What will George play?
No, we will come to the play. But if anybody has anything to say to all the comments we've had so far, yes.
The media too, we are begging you, please. Mukofa, I will speak Tree. Mukofa telenovela about crown namubet translation is all in Tree.
Numbers.
Yeah, but balance it.
And sometimes
balance
that's
it.
what I'm saying, you need to be deliberate about that.
Yeah.
Balance it. We are
sometimes
pleading.
you get profit not in terms of money.
Okay.
So you know that we are doing this and may cause us financially, but then in terms of impact.
All right.
I know businessmen don't think about impact too much, but what is in the pocket. But you need to be deliberate about it. Most important, we talked about what we can do to support the sector. And like Riley mentioned, I think I don't know, MMC or whatever, I'm sure they have the cultural department. It's enough of them always trying to organize, say cultural time. They have to invite school to come and dance logo, do poetry and go. They should be deliberate to affect the human base, the human resource base of the people. So, and there should be we should not always leave the job to Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. The regional minister should be deliberate about, like we see in Kumasi.
Yeah.
The mayors or the DCs should be deliberate about those ones. So first and foremost, you need to try and revive the cultural, the art and tourism space within your area. And when we say culture, it doesn't really mean dancing and funeral and stuff. But culture is a way of life of people.
Yeah. And
way of life of people has got to do with even settlement. You see, that's how come the previous regime about Ben Abdallah they had just Ministry of Tourism because they looked at culture being a raw material, which is manifested in arts. So in culture, they have to look at fraud because settlement is part. So they should always view it from that point that okay, let me position my space, be constituency, be MC or whatever, in order to harness some tourism kerosene, and by that we are able to help the indigenous as well, and then the culture perspective.
Beautiful. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we take our final words and then we talk about George Quay's Beyond the Walls. And before we take the commercial, there is this song by Gas Miller, China.
I love it. I love it.
Still right here on Joe 99.7 FM. This is Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dazi. In the meantime, are you ready to get way more chances to win with Betway? Every single day, you have the key to unlock 5 free spins on Mega Money Wheel, where you stand the chance to win 1 million Ghana Cedis jackpots. So what are you waiting for? Log into betway.com.ga today and take your spin, all thanks to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Tomorrow is a Sunday and we'll be listening to Pentecost Hour by the chairman, Apostle Eric Nyameche. Exactly 1:30 p.m. to make a date. Still right here talking about the gun creatives and how we can promote them. George Quay's here, Oswald Okaite, Miss Bell, Obi Nate, and Jeff Quay, JQ, music producer on Zoom, right from the US. Now, talking about gun creatives and the works they're doing, George Quay is doing amazingly well. And his original play is coming off this Saturday, next week Saturday. It's an original by him, by George Quay, directed by Naa Shoko. And he tells us there is gun culture in there. JQ. So Saturday is the D-Day. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Ejebu.
Eba. Abedu.
Mm.
Beyond the Wall.
Yes.
Let's start from the beginning. Why this concept?
Now, you recall last year, December, we did not do any commercial theater. Yes. Usually in December, that's when we do. 2022, we had a Detective Calls. 2023 was the Gods Are Not to Blame. Gods Are Not to Blame actually ran 13 times. We finished in 2024.
Yes. Yeah.
You know. And then mid-year 2024, we did The Legend of Akusika, and then after that, we honored Ifua Sutherland centenary with the marriage of Ananswa. We're hoping to repeat either of Ananswa or Akusika in December when we're approached by an organization called the Fair Justice Initiative. Now, they help prisoners, go through their cases and all of that. When they approached us, they told us they usually organize, various Christmas activities for the inmates at their Nsawam female prisons. So they wanted us to do something for them for theater for Christmas. So Nashoko and I took a trip there and we interacted with the wardens, their leadership, and then we got to meet the prisoners. When we were going there, we had a play in mind, a Greek play called Lysistrata. And we got there, we started interacting with them, seeing those who had acted before, those who could act. So through that little audition and conversation, some of them started sharing their stories and experiences, what got them there, how life is like in there, what they plan to do after prison. And I realized that one of their biggest fears was freedom. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking, why would somebody who's been incarcerated fear freedom? And I realized the problem is us. The way we receive them, the way we treat them, the way we interact with them when they come out, and that concept of you're an ex-convict into Odia, it's as if being an ex-convict is a contagious disease of a sort. Mm-hmm. So I put their stories together and I scripted Beyond the Walls. So Beyond the Walls is strictly inspired by the stories of the inmates, and some of those stories are truly chilling. There's a lady in there who doesn't even want to reform. Yeah, she is angry at the system, for instance, and you'd feel it through the play. All that her anger is at the system. Said, you see all those kids in traffic when you're driving and all that, they come begging. Said she was one of those. She started begging in traffic at the age of 2. At the age of 2, she was already begging in traffic. And she felt the system should have rescued her. There should be a social welfare system that should have rescued her. The system did not come to her aid. The only people that accepted her were armed robbers. So she became one of them. And that is the only family she knows. Because the system...
This is a real story.
Yes. The system did not. There's another person in there who was a victim of domestic abuse. She had a boyfriend and the boy was beating her up almost every day. And one evening, she was in the kitchen boiling water to go bath when she got a hot slap from behind. Why? Because there was too much salt in the soup she had prepared. She just carried the hot water, poured it on the man, and ran away. Ran away to another village a few meters or so away. And the guy had gone to report. He had gone to police station. He had healed and all that, but left her alone for like 5 years. This girl had found a new man, gotten engaged, given birth. On the morning that they were naming her daughter was the day the man came with the police to have her arrested. Yeah. And since that day, she hasn't seen her daughter for like 7 years. She's in there.
So
and there's another girl that came for December in GH just to chill. Fell in love when she was going. Apparently, the kente cloth that the boy had packed for her to go and give to his mother had drugs in there. Got to Kotoka, got arrested. She's there. Very sad, chilling stories, So it's some of these stories that we've put together, and we're going to let the public see it on Sunday, a lot of it, and then they're live in there. So because some of the stories are very huge, they are deep, we've brought in a lot of humor as well. So it's comical, it's and we've tried to use it to address a lot of other themes too, a lot of stigma, a lot of discrimination, even how we look at HIV and AIDS, subject of that nature, how we look at people with disabilities and all that. So the play has a number of themes. It's I don't call it a play. I call it a lesson, a message, that everybody ought to experience. So today, if you follow me on my socials, look for G_Kwe, George Kwe on Facebook, G_Kwe on X and other places. I've posted a video that we did with the inmates. Those videos, those people you hear on that video are actual inmates. When we staged it in December at the prison, it was performed by the inmates. We did not use professional actors.
All right. But this time around?
The inmates, this time around, we're using professional actors. But some of the released inmates will also be there to be a part of it. And we're also using this to raise funds. They are building a counseling and therapeutic center for them at the prisons. So the video that we, in some female prison, we've put up a video, and the video has a phone number for the prison that you can donate to support that counseling and therapeutic center. I think
all right,
everybody should want to be a part of it. And if you want, I'm trying to look for that number.
While you're looking for that, it's happening this Saturday and Sunday next week. So that's 29th and 30th March. 4 p.m., 8 p.m. each day at the National Theatre. And the rate is a cool 200 Ghana cedis.
Only. You can get it at www.imagebureaugh.com, or you can dial star 714 *46 hash. Star 714 *46 hash. Miss Bell is surprised that I follow her on IG. I've been following you since. So the number is, if you want to support the guidance and therapeutic center being built at the Nsawam prison, the number is 0530 559 667.
All right.
That's 0530 559 667, and you can send Momo. The name on it is Nsawam Female Prison Diagnostic Project.
All right.
Yes, diagnostic project. So you can donate to that to support it.
Who are the actors or actresses playing the roles?
Legendary Edina Matachi is in there.
She's in?
Yes, she's in there. Sicho Fechiko is in there. Jifa Sogbe is in there. Jacqueline Ansa, a lot of people are in there. We are trying as much as possible to depict the prison itself. So we have, I think, total cast and size is a little over about 60, if I'm not mistaken.
No, just cast.
Just cast about 60.
Crew not inclusive.
No crew.
You know what I'm looking forward to seeing?
Tell me.
The set.
Oh yeah,
I know what you can do with those.
We're trying.
Some time ago, water was falling at the National Theatre.
Yes, we've done the burnings flame. We've done the waterfall. We've done the snakes, the turtles. This time we are burning a human being on stage.
Huh? Who are you burning?
One of the prisoners, one of the ones who has a strong fear. For she was first released, and her family totally rejected her. Her parents, the community, everything, they nearly beat her up. And they told her if they dared enter the community again, they would burn her alive. So in the play, she dreams that they're burning her alive, and it actually happens live on stage.
Wow, this is a must-see play at the National Theatre, Beyond the Walls by George Quay, directed by Nash Shoko. Please, if you want to find more details to this play, just call 055-1313-134 and get details of it. Happening next week, Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss it.
And I hear the Interior Ministry has just announced that Monday and Tuesday after that are holidays. 31st and 1st are holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So just come and then let's see. Who knows? You never know. Maybe we might even extend it till Monday.
I know what you can do.
You never know. So let's all be there. For me, Kwame, for me, this play, we're not looking at it as a commercial venture.
Okay.
We're looking at it as something that we're using to send a strong message out there to everybody. Listen, Kwame, each and every single one of us here, we are not too far off from a prison cell.
Yeah.
We are not.
Anything can happen.
Have a conversation with Jagapi, he will tell you.
Yeah.
We are not too far away from a prison cell. The slightest thing. So it would be very pertinent to come see this, hear them, and know how we would conduct ourselves.
Beautiful.
And how we can relate to some of them. So we encourage everybody to be there. If I can quickly say special thanks to the multimedia group Joy FM.
Sure.
They are partners on this one, and they've been super supportive. Not forgetting Stambik Bank, Mr. Malko Afajino and the entire team. They've been with us since we started this theatre journey.
Wow.
On all our plays. Of course, not forgetting Nii Plant's car rentals as well as the UN family in Ghana, the Fair Justice Initiative, Akwaba Mineral Water, and everybody else, the Ghana Tourism Authority, the Ghana Publishing Company, and everybody else. We are very grateful. The guys at Yumi Yogurt have been giving us some fine yogurt for rehearsals and stuff like that. And of course, the School of Performing Arts, University of Ghana, they've also been very, very supportive. They give us rehearsal space and all the support that we need.
All right.
Oh, you can get a ticket by digital assets. www.imagebureaugh.com or you dial our short code *714 *46 hash. Unfortunately, we don't sell physical tickets anymore.
All right.
We are still in Dr. Baumia mode. Digital, you know what I mean.
Thank you very much. Joy 99.7 FM. Okay, now let's close. Let me go to the US and take the final words from Jeff Quay. JQ.
Anyway, my final words are just to say a little about one caller who mentioned broadening the scope of the Ga community to include the Ga Dangbes and all the people. And also, he mentioned like when something in relation to me saying, when dignitaries like land in Ghana, we should push not only Adowa, but, Logo, he also suggested with other cultures to it, which I think is very laudable. For me, I think I'll end by saying, we individuals, like everybody in your studio, including myself, and those that couldn't make it here, I think we can just do this. There's a limit to what we can do. But if, governments and, leadership, the Ghana leadership come in with policies, roll out things to help what we are doing, I think it will be broader and it will go a long way to preserve what we want to see, the culture of the Ghana people that we want to see in the Ghana. I don't even know the school curriculum in primary schools, especially in Accra. If the Ghana language is taught, we can also, it wouldn't only be about language, but also, nurturing people on the traditions of Ghana, of the Ghana people, like even the Kwan logo, the drumming, the Ghana dancing, the Ghana marriage rights and other customary rights, all these things. I think leadership should find a way to have a policy so that it will not only be me, Ms. Bell, George Quay, and the other people in the studio just doing a bit, but it will go a long way. Even if someday we are not here, there will be, a blueprint that, generations after us will look up to and push their agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, JQ. Let me come to Ms. Bell. Ms. B, your final words.
I think JQ has said it all.
Great. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, then anybody you want to say hi to?
Nobody in particular.
Okonfo Black, I like him so much.
My son,
He's intelligent, rough. Okay, Obi Nati.
Meshika, no more. Oh, I can't buy pay.
Obi. Let me say that the call for the policy direction is very... The call for the policy direction is in the right place. And also to advise my Ga community, my Gadangbe community, And if you listen to the conversations we've had, there is that direction of unity, that we need to be united as Gadangbe. And let's give respect to the current Gamanche. Let's give respect to the current Gamanche. Now, the only way we'll be able to succeed in making sure that there's this huge revival and revolution within the Ghana space is to make sure the head has that maximum respect. And let's run away, or let's avoid the various divisions within the Ghana state. That is a major problem. Once we are not together, you can never make any impact until we decide and we deliberately come together as one people and have one voice. Then the impact on policy, anything we want to do, will succeed. But if we don't, and we still insist on being do this, don't come here, this is mine, all these conversations would keep us divided, and will not bring the respect that the Ghana people deserve, because they say I can no bulebe. But if we become one and we speak in one language, we would have the necessary respect, and that's all that these problems will be curtailed.
Good. Thank you, Obi Nat.
You didn't ask me to say hi to anybody.
Okay.
Say hi. To all the Mancheme, Neo Adenta.
Okay.
All the chiefs. And
I
all
love
the,
Adenta.
Yeah, I love Adenta.
You're coming back 2028. Sit.
No more JB Adenta.
Okay.
But I want to greet the entire people of Adenta, and especially Akusha Menu.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Oswald.
So first, I would say we as Ghanaians should be futuristic.
Okay.
We shouldn't be so much be interested in what we are going to gain today. We should be altruist.
All
We
right.
should be ready to sacrifice ourselves for a better future.
Good.
And then again, we should understand that divided we
fall.
stand, together we fall. Before divided we stand, divided we fall, together we stand.
No, I'm confused.
Yeah, you need to confuse. This is our poetry.
Take it again.
We have to understand that divided we stand, together we fall. Before together we stand, divided we fall.
You said poetry is difficult to understand. That's true.
Because life in itself is a piece of poetry.
Exactly.
You are either the poet or the poem.
Okay.
What I mean is, we need to respect each other within the perspective that fellow is.
Yeah.
So the truth is, if you understand the tradition, the custom of the Gans, you understand why we have La, Osu, Gamashi, and all of that. So when I mean divided we stand, all I'm trying to say is, let us respect the individual states.
Right.
Then, not necessarily having one person coming under one umbrella, but we have to know that you are because I am, and I am because you are. Immediately you fall, I'm falling.
Wow.
That is what I mean by that short statement.
Okay.
That's
So
very true.
divided we stand means we need to respect each state. Then once you know that if Osu falls, La is falling.
All
if
right.
La falls, Gamashi is falling. So respect our respective traditions and customs. Yet we need to be together in spirit.
Good. I love that. JQ.
I just want to thank everybody who has been supportive of all our initiatives, and I'd like to give special recognition and special shouts to Nashako.
Okay.
Undoubtedly one of the hardest working
Very,
women I
very,
have ever
very
been within this industry. She's something else.
Yeah.
She's something
And
else.
she's very humble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, she is. And special shouts to all our brothers and friends doing great in the industry. To Mr. Humphrey Williams of Oswald Construction, Dr. Daniel Macaulay McDan Group, Robert Coleman, Astrotef Africa, our own brother Nathaniel Ato, Jocelyn Duma, you name it. It's a tallest. Charles Niama Mensah, aka Shatawale.
Richard Niamakwe.
All of them, everybody else. We're grateful to everybody. God bless everybody.
you.
And of course, our own mother Coco Amata Ifio, we salute you. We love her.
Thank you very
She's a
much.
great asset to the industry.
Awesome.
And would entreat everybody to come see the play. And Kwame, just very quickly,
Yeah.
the fact that some of us are knocking doors and we are not getting the help does not mean that when other people knock on our doors and we're in positions to help, we should also mete
Yeah.
out the same kind of behavior to them.
Awesome.
If you're in a position to help, God put you there for a reason. The fact that somebody didn't help you when you were looking for it doesn't mean you should not help somebody when you can.
Great.
Let's help when we can. It's the only way we can go further.
Thank you. Let's help when we can. Joe 99.7 FM. Miss Bell. Hello. Naturally, Hammy. He didn't add it to this one. We will play it next week. I beg. We don't have it here. Do you have it? Do you have Naturally Hammy? All right, Joy 99.7 FM. Great having you here with us. Joined us on this conversation on Ga people, how to project them. Thank you very much, Judge Quay, to you, Oswald Okaite, Miss Bell, Binate, and then Jeff Quay, JQ, who joined us on Zoom from the US. My name is Kwame Dazi, show produced by Philip Nye, supported by Mirabel Johnson, and then Anita Tay. Next week, we're coming your way with something big that will blow your mind away. All right, so Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. I was telling you about next week's edition of the show. We're coming away with something awesome, yeah. In the meantime, though, let me leave you in the hands of Miss Bell. This one, beautiful song that I love, Yopo.